the Glaz V2 RTA from Steamcrave. Let's have a look. Hey guys, Benvic here, back with another review. Today we are looking at this. This is the V2 Glaz RTA from Steamcrave, a follow-up to the original RTA, the Glaz RTA from Steamcrave. It is a 31mm wide RTA, dual coil, 7mm capacity with the straight glass, 10mm capacity with the bubble glass. An absolutely massive RTA. Obviously, Glaz in the name sounds like glass. The one thing with this, it's one big unique thing with this, is the chimney is glass. You can see through, when it's not too vapey and too steamy, you can see through the chimney, through the glass, through the chimney, and you can see your coils. A very unique design. They've made several changes from the V1. The main change is the physical look. It looks like they've gone out of their way to make it a stronger tank. It's got enforcement on the inside, perhaps to help not break the chimney. It's got a completely different physical look to it, but it's got a very similar deck. The only tweak on the deck seems to be that they've made the wicking bigger, so now it will wick even faster, and it does wick very fast, very impressively indeed. You've got your slide-in top fill, and like I say, you've got your massive capacity. 7mm capacity in here, goes up to 10mm with the bubble glass. Let's dive down low so you can have a look at this, and then we'll come back up top for pros and cons on this absolute monster. Let's go. Okay guys, here we are down low with the Glaz V2 RTA from Steamcrave. Glaz on top, Steamcrave up there as well. You've got your drip tip here. It's a Goon drip tip. It's one with the O-ring in the thing and two O-rings on it. So what that usually means is some Goon tips fit, some don't. But it's nice and matchy with this tip, and it's a nice fit. So no real issues there. You've got your push to fill system on here. It's nice and firm. So I'm not too worried about it. It is nice to, just glug all that juice straight in. So no major issues with the top fill. Coming down, you can see the actual design of the tank has changed a lot from the V1. It just looks better, in my opinion, all round better. There's a lot more glass, but yet it feels more secure because these black frames and the metal inside just feels like a more secure RTA overall. Obviously, if you look right through, you can see I've got some coils in there. There's a glass tank here, but then it's a glass chimney as well. Some might say the flavour is better in a glass chimney than a metal chimney. I'm not so sure, but that is the essence of this RTA anyway. Adjustable airflow, if you want it, you've got loads. Huge airflow there. And obviously you just turn that down to your exact style. The advantage of having loads of little holes like this, it's a really smooth, quiet vape. And it's a really nice vape in terms of airflow smoothness. So those little holes doing a good job. It's all nice and grippy on here as well. So no issues with the airflow ring. If we open her up, just start spinning this base, and it comes off. You can mess around with your deck while you have juice in, as long as it's just not absolutely full to the top. You shouldn't have any trouble with that. So here we go. This is the deck. Now the one thing that they seem to have done on here, it's very much the same deck design, so if you're a fan of it before, you will be again. It's another one of these decks where the coils simply sit on top. You just drop them down and then tighten them up here. The one thing they seem to have definitely done this time is make these bigger. This wicking hole is nice and big now, so you can get big strands of cotton down here, and you basically just place them on top. Just place your cotton on top. Obviously you don't want a little gap here, so the juice just goes out and floods. But yeah, you just sit it on top and it feeds up really nice. It's a very fast wicking tank overall. You can also see from here you get a nice distance from the wicking to the airflow. So again, that will help with any flooding. It shouldn't flood at all really, unless you get things badly wrong. You can also see the way the airflow works here. So the airflow is coming in from the bottom and it's coming up and it's coming out of these holes here, which have like they have like a ledge on. You've got a little ledge here, and so that is angling the airflow like this, and I think that does add to the flavour. It's really, really, really tasty vape. So yeah, very clever air design, and it's very smooth with these honeycomb air holes as well. And yeah, nice that they've improved the wicking, because you know people are going to be wanting to vape this 100+ watts, so you need loads of wicking room down here. What I'll do is I'll go and wick this up and show you how I wick it and what it looks like, then put it back together, then we'll go up top. Okay, so this is how I have it built and wicked. Basically, you know, no, it's nothing too crazy with this one, because it wicks so well. You don't have to be as careful as you do with a lot of RTAs these days. Basically, I'm just lumping the cotton all on top here with very, very little going through. The less you have going through, the better. You want this to just sit on top here. The juice comes up this hole and just continuously feeds this. You're basically just putting it through, lumping it on top like that, and having, like I've got here, virtually none through here. You don't want any real through there. You just want it sat on top. Now, if that's dry hitting for you at 60-70 watts that I'm at, it's absolutely wicking like a champ. But if that is too much, just have a bit less on top of here. The less you have covering the top, the faster it will wick. But it wicks so fast. And the last thing I want to do is have it flooding everywhere with all that juice inside. So that is how I've got it. 2 big beefy coils on here, very beefy indeed, and they just sit right on top, and the airflow just flies in sort of like that, on that sort of angle. So let's just put it back together. Simply take your tank, screw it back up like that. You can mess with your coils and wicks while there is juice in, as long as it's not completely full. It works absolutely fine. So you screw it back together like that, and there we go, and you've got your top fill. Push that open and lump all your juice in, and away you go. As you can see, before you start vaping, it does you can look through the coils very well. You can look through the chimney to the coils very well until you start vaping, and then it clouds up. But it's a nice sort of sanity check that everything's okay in there before you get vaping, which is cool. And there it is, yeah, the big beastie Glaz V2 RTA from SteamCrave. Let's go up top for pros and cons. Okay guys, that was the Glaz V2 RTA down low from SteamCrave. It's an absolute monster. It's an absolute beast. When I first got this, I literally could not find a mod in my collection of mods. Got a lot of mods up here. I literally couldn't find a mod that fit 31mm wide tanks. This is pretty much as close as I've got. The RX Gen 2. There's a slight 1mm lip by the looks of it. And it looks absolutely crazy on here because the tank is as big as the mod. It's absolutely massive. So obviously the first thing I would say is, if you're thinking about getting this, make sure you have a mod that you're happy for this to go on. You need a big mod. There are a list of mods out there that can fit this. If anyone knows one, put it in the comment below of a mod that will fit this flush. But yeah, it's an absolutely massive tank. There's no getting around that. That does come with some drawbacks as well. If you don't wick this properly and it leaks on you, 7mm or 10mm of juice in your pocket is not going to look too great if you're going on a date. I guess you could say that this is not really an out and about atomizer. It's more of a on your desk type thing. But yeah, so if you lose, you could lose an entire juice bottle of juice if you get this wrong. So yeah, it's definitely something to bear in mind. It's a very big tank with very big capacity. If I can very quickly go over my negatives for this, I don't have many. It's absolutely not my style of RTA. I'm more than happy with a 22mm RTA or a 24mm RTA. More than happy with those things. But that to one side, you know, I can still look at this objectively. My slight negatives on this are the glass chimney. I've said it a million times, I've said it before. I don't really get the whole glass tank, the glass RDA thing or glass chimney thing, because the second you start vaping on it, it gets all steamy, all gunky, all messy, and doesn't look very good. It's nice that you can see in there before you turn it on, but as soon as you turn it on, you know, it's gone all steamy and all gunky anyway, so I don't really see the point. There are people that say the flavour is better. from glass than it is from a stainless steel chimney. I don't really buy into that, to be honest. If that was the case, you know, all these high-end whiskey places, all these high-end vodka places and gin places, they would all be storing everything in huge glass tanks, and they're not. Everything is just stored in the traditional method. So I don't really prescribe to that, to be honest. The other slight negative I would say is, and this is just, it may just be me, I've noticed when this gets down to 1.5 mil, 2 mil, it doesn't wick as fast as when it's really full. And I guess that might just be the sheer volume of juice trying to push its way down onto the wicks. I don't know, but I've noticed that I found myself filling it back up when I've got down to 1 mil capacity, because I've just noticed it slightly drying out. Again, might just be me, might be just the way I've wicked it. But the performance of the wicking that I've got in here has been absolutely stellar. Let's give you a vape. I am at a very meagre 74 watts, and it's vaping a bit like this with the airflow half. Massive clouds, massive flavour. It's a tremendous vape in terms of vape quality. It's nice, smooth, honeycomb airflow. Very quiet, very smooth, not restricted or turbulent in any way. Really cloudy, really tasty. Like I say, they improved the wicking on this V2, and it really helps, in my opinion. It's so saturated all the time. It's so tasty as a result of that. The vape quality is absolutely tremendous, and you can go as high as you want with this, 100, 120 watts. I'm happy with my 74 watts. It is vaping absolutely superbly. And like I say, I haven't had a dry hit or anything along those lines at all. So yeah, there are a lot of advantages to this. If this is your style of atomizer, you already know you can get huge coils in here, you can get huge capacity in here, it wicks really fast, you can get massive watts through this, you're not constantly refilling it. There are a lot of advantages to something like this, and the flavour and the vape is absolutely tremendous. So if you're a fan of these big tanks, then definitely take a look at this. I'm really impressed. Build quality is awesome. I think it's going to be about £40–45 in the UK, and you're getting a lot of stuff for that. You're getting a lot of tank for your money. I think it's a really good V2. I think it's a good improvement. It looks better and it works better, and that's what we want from a V2. And the vape quality is absolutely superb. There's no getting around it, whether it's not my style or not. The vape quality is absolutely superb on this tank. Loving the flavour it produces with this undercoil airflow. It's a tremendous vape. Easy to wick, easy to build, pretty good looking for a big boy. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a 2 thumbs up from me. It is not my style of vape. I've made that very clear. But I think it is a tremendous vape nonetheless. Let me know what you think in the comments. The Glaz V2 RTA from Steam Crave. Like and subscribe if you're not already, and see you on the next video. Cheers.